the CVAC that they were talking about last night with the Treasury assets being set up?
The Treasury, well, if you had a look at the original CVAC documentation, what it had was that there would be 194 CVACs representing each country, and that around that main hub would be 8 satellite CVACs dedicated to different areas that would fulfill and meet our needs in terms of health, education, transportation, technology, and so forth. And that they would essentially be identical to one another with complete transparency and communicate with each other, and it would be a network around the planet. That people, and they don't exist without people giving them life. You know, any more than a government is just a building unless people walk in the door. Heather, do you want to elaborate on this?
Excuse me?
I was just asking Heather if she wanted to elaborate.
No, I mean, you did a great job. It's just those branches were initially just to have people have access to the same thing, like the library on a street corner having the same librarian database as the libraries across the globe. It's all about absolute data. Information in banking is currency. That is the currency. And they use that information, that data, to maneuver people in places and make sure that they're taking and able to steal or barter or trade representation. Well, the people, if they have absolute data access to that, and that's what those systems on the ground were, so that you knew where you could go and get absolute data. Well, it can just all be done from within. That is where it was moving, and that is where the disclosure was coming in to assist a cooperation, but in a very transparent and honest way, so that people would know it's not how the powers that were painted it. So those systems, it can be whatever you want. I say just remove the distractions one by one. If there's a mistake that we make with each movement, we can correct it. So let's start with the first big distraction, which powers that were made our life and breath for all this time, which is value. So get the value out first, and then everything else will be much easier to see in a different light.
Does that answer your question, Sherry?
Somewhat, yes. I'm just too new.
Okay, go back and have a look and see and read those definitions on American Kabuki or removing the shackles. And
Thank you.
That'll help. Okay, thank you. Area code 970.
Oh, good. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, it's Katie in Colorado.
Had a feeling.
Oh, it's great. Okay, so the only thing that keeps coming to my imagination is, okay, we type numbers into a computer, okay, or, okay, so that's representing a value, because I'm the value of my creation, because I'm living and breathing and speaking. So, but what if we did like an opt Craigslist or something, or I don't have the tech skills to do that, or to orchestrate that whole massive computer operating system. I don't know how to do that, but I'm just throwing the idea out there that because, okay, so essentially we have you, me, I'd be like trading with you or bartering or sharing the system. It would be a pay-it-forward system. And so, like, why not? Let's just do it. And I don't know who's going to do that. So whoever's listening out there and feels that, yeah, this is me, I don't know, who knows? Who knows what's out there? So, or who's out there and who's being out there. So if any of this idea sparks an interest, like, let's just do it. Let's just create a network for all of us and then be like, hey, look, you guys, hey, I'm networking with these people. But then again, it's, you know, all you have to do is just put your name in. You can even put your YouTube name or whatever, your handle. Like, you don't even have to use your real name. So it's as long as it's something that represents you as you and you know who you are. So why not? What's the hang up?
I love her. I love you.
I love you too, Brian.
I think it's a great idea. I think a lot of amazing ideas are going to be coming out in the near future, and I think that everybody's going to be free to co-create. And I understand that there's a lot of unanswered questions out there, and that a lot of people are getting hung up on a lot of things, but answers are coming, and where this is all headed, sooner or later we're going to look back and we're going to laugh hysterically. I do it every day. I giggle fest hysterically every day now in these calls. I haven't done a lot of giggling on this one because I'm so tired, but we're going to look back at this and we're going to say, oh my God, I get it. Thank you for this experience, because it's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about the experience. We're all going through this experience and we're creating this together, and where we're headed is a beautiful place. It's beautiful right now. It's just hard for some people to enjoy it because there's so much suffering. I realize that's still going on out there, but suffering is going to come to an end, and people just need to have faith and hold that space in their heart that this is all winding down, and we're coming to a very pivotal moment right now, and just watch in awe as it unfolds.
Yeah, having the breathing room. Yeah, thanks y'all. I love you all.
Love you.
Okay, I know we've only got 20 minutes left, and Heather, I'm being asked repeatedly in the chat room to please get you to clarify before this show finishes the when and the how of the Treasury system.
Okay, so I'll go in, and the only thing that's going to be secured will be the Treasury part to get the value out.
Yep.
That's it. So I've got to take that particular part out. And someone asked, so is the USA going to be the only one that is in charge of it all, since it's the only branch that's up? No. Let that branch basically don't have any branches. Just have the CVAC temporary financial system, period.
Yeah, that's funny. This is exactly a conversation I had over the weekend, and I said I don't think we need the 194 CVACs. I think we just need one, if anything.
Well, people are at the point now where they've got the proof that all these corporations were operating under the guise of the people's government, so they can ask the questions now. So really that tool is unnecessary. As far as getting value out, you just need one source of that. Go in and file it, and then make sure that it's transparent and it can't be messed with. It can't be manipulated or fabricated. You don't have someone stealing a backdoor what's supposedly moving right in front of your nose. So that's what I'm focused on. They're called just for that Treasury. Essentially, the 194 CVACs are supposed to go up. Then the Treasury will follow behind it. Now I can just scrap that middle part, go in, set up the Treasury, the temporary Treasury, get all that value, all of the physical tangibles, and then have people access that value. That's it. So that's what I'm focused on.
Okay. I hate to do it to you, but I need to ask you these couple of questions. Time frame on how long that would take?
For the actual securing the Treasury system, I'll need this week to do that, because the 194 was what we focused on last week. Okay. So I'll need this week to get the verbiage down, get it filed in, and then after that, it's the next week. Because it usually takes me about 3 or 4 days to get the actual verbiage, pull it down from the absolute grid. It goes in, the minute that it's filed, it's done. Then it's a matter of the physical systems following, it's all about energy. So the physical systems, once the energetic part is done, it takes usually about 72 hours for that to root and actually physically manifest somewhere.
So the question I know on most people who are thinking along these lines, what they're thinking is, when do I get something in my hand that I can use? When do I get something that I can use to buy bread and put petrol in my car? Or fulfill my dream, be of service, whatever their question is. And what is it going to look like when it does?
I can tell you what steps are going to be taken by me personally that I have control over. Then it's a matter of putting the physical, tangible behind that. And I can tell you the timelines of those as far as having coins to rub together, if that's what they're thinking it's going to be.
The CVAC that they were talking about last night with the Treasury assets being set up,
The Treasury, well, if you had a look at the original CVAC documentation, what it had was that there would be 194 CVACs representing each country, and that around that main hub would be 8 satellite CVACs dedicated to different areas that would fulfill and meet our needs in terms of health, education, transportation, technology, and so forth. And that they would essentially be identical to one another with complete transparency and communicate with each other, and it would be a network around the planet. That people, and they don't exist without people giving them life. You know, any more than a government is just a building unless people walk in the door. Heather, do you want to elaborate on this?
Excuse me?
I was just asking Heather if she wanted to elaborate.
No, I mean, you did a great job. It's just those branches were initially just to have people have access to the same thing, like the library on a street corner having the same librarian database as the libraries across the globe. It's all about absolute data. Information in banking is currency. That is the currency. And they use that information, that data, to maneuver people in places and make sure that they're taking and able to steal or barter or trade representation. Well, the people, if they have absolute data, access to that, and that's what those systems on the ground were, so that you knew where you could go and get absolute data. Well, it can just